12-year-old girls had special spells written for them. The tablets read, "Tear little Penelope from her family. Make her love only me. Gift her body to me." We're talking about a civilization that used magic for child abuse. Ancient Greece brings to mind democracy, philosophy, and art, but the reality was much darker. Archaeologists have discovered over 6,000 cursed tablets to date. All serve the same purpose, turning women into sexual slaves through magic. Don't forget to hit the like button on this video and write which country you're watching from in the comments. It's very important for more dark history videos like this. Magic was sold in regular shops on the streets of Athens. Men would pay money for any woman they wanted, buying love spells from professional sorcerers. This was an ordinary trade business that operated openly in the marketplace. Sorcerers offered different packages with detailed pricing. The cheapest was a simple attraction spell for a few silver coins. The most expensive was called total control magic that cost as much as a house. This spell would separate the woman from her family, making her love only the man who cast the spell. The instructions written on tablets are horrifying. Spirit of Heracles, tear apart this girl's mind. Drive her mad. Give her no peace until she runs to me. Make her forget food, water, sleep, family. Making magic required horrific rituals that took place over several nights. The man first had to obtain the woman's hair, a piece of her clothing, nail clippings, or a soil sample from her footprint. Then at midnight he would go to the cemetery and summon the spirits of the dead. He would write the woman's name on lead tablets and write elaborate prayers to Hades, the god of death, and Hecate, goddess of witchcraft. The ritual involved burning the woman's personal items while reciting incantations designed to bind her soul. Animal sacrifices were common, with blood poured over the cursed tablets before burying them near the victim's home. The most horrific part was this: sorcerers gave special instructions to drive the woman mad, prevent her from eating, forbid her from sleeping, make her forget her family, think only of me, burn her insides with desire. Some tablets contain even more horrific things. Burn Penelope's body with fire, tear apart her vagina, torture her until she comes to me. Let no other man touch her, let her find no peace. What made this system most horrific was its social acceptance. Magic was viewed in the same category as physical force or money. It was one of the legitimate methods men used to obtain women, discussed openly in philosophical circles. Greek philosophers wrote about this without condemnation. Plato's students claimed that women were weak-willed, making them defenseless against magic. They debated the ethics of magical coercion as if it were a legitimate philosophical question. Even women who were victims of magic were blamed by society. Why couldn't you protect yourself, they were asked. What did you do to deserve this curse? As if protecting against magic was the woman's responsibility.
The most horrific part was spells targeting children. There were special recipes for girls aged 12-16. What's written in these spells sickens the modern human mind and reveals the depths of ancient depravity. Tablets were found that read, "Remove little Helena from her father's house. Make her love me. Gift her body to me. Let her parents weep as she abandons them from my bed." Magic was systematically used for child abuse. Child-targeting spells were more expensive because they required purer ingredients: virgin's blood, toys from the child's room, soil from where she played. The rituals were more complex, involving multiple nights of ceremony. What families did to protect their children was also tragic. They wouldn't let their girls leave home after puberty. Some even intentionally scarred their children's faces to make them ugly and less desirable to predators. Wealthy families hired counter-sorcerers to cast protective spells around their daughters. Poor families could only pray to the gods and keep their children hidden inside their homes. What women targeted by magic experienced was a complete nightmare. Whether the spells written on tablets actually worked didn't matter. What mattered were the devastating social consequences that destroyed lives. A woman believed to be under a spell was first ostracized by her family. She was branded as cursed and polluted. No one wanted to marry her, do business with her, or even speak to her in public. Most of the time, the woman really did fall into psychological breakdown. She constantly thought she was being followed, bewitched, becoming paranoid and unable to trust anyone. Eventually, she really did lose her mental balance. The psychological torture was systematic. Women would receive anonymous messages telling them they were cursed. Mysterious objects would appear near their homes. Friends would suddenly avoid them, creating isolation and despair. Historians write that cases of women going mad for no reason were extremely common in Athens. They think most of these women were victims of love spells, driven to insanity by social persecution and psychological warfare. Behind this system was a massive industry that generated enormous profits. There were over 200 known professional sorcerers in Athens alone. They all made their living from this business, with some becoming incredibly wealthy. There was also specialization among sorcerers. Some only did love spells, others focused on revenge spells, and the most feared practiced death spells. Each category had its own techniques, pricing, and clientele. The most horrific detail: sorcerers gave guarantees and operated like modern businesses. They dared to advertise like money back if the woman doesn't come to you within 30 days, or satisfaction guaranteed or full refund. There were even sorcerer guilds that operated like medieval trade organizations. They set standardized prices, prevented unfair competition, shared customer databases, and maintained quality control over their cursing services. Professional sorcerers kept detailed records of their clients and victims. They tracked which spells worked best on different types of women, building databases of psychological profiles and successful techniques. The industry operated with shocking efficiency. Sorcerers had networks of informants who would gather personal information about targeted women. They learned their daily routines, family relationships, deepest fears, and secret desires. Some sorcerers specialized in breaking up marriages to create opportunities for their clients. They would cast spells designed to make husbands violent, unfaithful, or impotent, driving their wives to seek comfort elsewhere. The psychological warfare was systematic and calculated. Women lived in constant fear, never knowing if someone might be targeting them with magic. This fear itself became a tool of control, making women more submissive and isolated. Archaeological evidence shows the industrial scale of these operations. Workshops have been discovered containing thousands of curse tablets, ritual tools, detailed instruction manuals, and customer lists. This wasn't folk magic, it was organized crime. The tablets themselves reveal disturbing patterns. Many contain identical phrases, suggesting standardized templates. Some show evidence of mass production, with the same handwriting appearing on dozens of different curses targeting different women. This dark side of ancient Greece teaches us something important. Even great civilizations can systematically target women and normalize child abuse when power structures support exploitation. Whether these spells actually work doesn't matter. What matters is how a society normalized systems targeting women and children, creating industries built on psychological terrorism and sexual coercion. Similar systems exist today with different methods but the same goals. Technology changes, but the fundamental desire to control and exploit women remains constant throughout human history. If you like this video, don't forget to like, write which country you're watching from in the comments, and subscribe for more dark history videos exploring humanity's darkest chapters. Knowing the dark pages of history is necessary to understand today. If we forget these stories, the same mistakes can be repeated in new forms.